I remember one time, man, he was working on the beat to Choppin Blaze.
Yeah.
And I was downstairs and I could hear the beat going, don't.
Yeah.
Jamming, boy. I was like, ooh. I said, got him one.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
Give me a story between you and Pimp, something that you remember that stuck out to you that happened with you and him.
Oh man,
something that nobody would know.
I don't know, because like me and Pimp, like I went down and stayed in his house when he was living in Atlanta, like the whole summer. I think that was back in, oh man, I want to say 98, 99.
I remember when he was living down there.
Yeah. And I went down there and pretty much locked myself in his basement.
Wow.
And barely came up for air. Like he would be upstairs, I'd be down in the basement, and they go out and party and stuff like that. I'd be down in the basement working on tracks, man.
Wow.
But one thing that really stood out in my mind, we never really hung out one-on-one until this particular time. And I was in Dallas and he was in Houston. This was not long after he had gotten released out of prison.
Okay.
And he's like, man, I'm just chilling this weekend. You ought to come down, holler at me. So I went down there. And it was really, man, the whole weekend it was just me and him. He was living at the, the high-rise apartment down there in Houston, over there by the mall. And we just hung out, man. We just hung out, like we hung out in his apartment. We didn't really even work on no music.
Really?
Like
no music?
He was just like taking a bunch of business calls, trying to, handle some things. And we go out, in the evening and just ride around.
That sticks out because you was just focused on just hanging out.
Yeah, it wasn't even on no music thing. It wasn't even on no business thing. It was just, because I was working with him before he got locked up, and then, he pretty much when he went and got locked up, that kind of just things came at a standstill.
Yeah, man, I missed him during that time.
Oh man, we all did.
Man, that terror unit. I know he's on terror unit. Yeah. I was keeping up with whatever was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you're fanning out. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I can't do this, man.
Yeah.
We got to have some of that, because when you hear him with the songs, he stick out in every song, from when he was with Master P and them doing songs.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever he was on their song, he going to kill that whole thing. Yeah. I don't care what nobody say. Like,
he had that golden voice, man.
Yeah.
His delivery was like no other, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how was his process? Because I know KL said he was like a genius when it comes to the music. Yeah. How was his process to when you seen him make music?
He just knew what he wanted, man.
Yeah.
He knew what he wanted. Like, and he was quick too. You could hear him, like I remember when I was living with him in Atlanta, you could hear him like he'd be humming things, in his head, and he go right there and go work on it. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll go, because he had his equipment set up, upstairs, and then mine was set up downstairs.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember
he always say, "Hey man, you ain't got nothing like this right here. You ain't know."
Nah, it wasn't never like
never
that.
like that.
Nah,
it was y'all just making music together.
Yeah, like I'd be downstairs.
He said you was like his protege or something. Yeah. That's what Bun said.
Yeah, cause really, man, cause I had been making music before I met him.
Okay.
But like he knew that my drums could use some work.
Okay.
So he introduced me to the Roland R8.
Okay.
Which was a drum machine that he was using, and people used to tell me all the time. He said, "Man, that dude must really like you, man, because I ain't never seen him show nobody how to work that drum machine."
Wow.
And so he showed me how to work that drum machine. So then I started incorporating the sounds from that drum machine into my music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And was just really getting familiar with it,
man.
But yeah, I remember one time, man, he was working on the beat to Choppin Blaze.
Yeah.
And I was downstairs and I could hear the beat going, don't.
Yeah.
Jamming, boy. I was like, ooh. I said, got him one. So later on that day, the power went out. He was working on the beat, and back then, you got the ASR 10, and I don't think he was working on the MPC back then. No, he was working on the R8 and the ASR 10, He was working on the beat. He had it going.
Had that whole going.
Power went
Man,
out.
he rapped that whole
man, the power went out. He lost that beat.
What?
Yeah, he lost the beat, and all I could hear him upstairs. He was like, he was like, fuck.
He had to make that over again, didn't
He
he?
had to start it all over again.
He went back and got it, didn't
Yeah.
he? It was in that era.
It sounded just the same.
Same.
Just the same as he had it before.
Man, that had to, because I would have hated not to get that one.
Yeah.
Boy, that one right there.
That's a classic,
Woo!
bro.
You hit the club, but then boys kicking back. That
Laying in the shade.
That thing was a problem.
The 90s was back in 2000 for the ballers. Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.